Welcome back to another episode of the Gritty Hour. This is Shawnee Boy. I'm here with my co-host T. How you doing, man?
All right, Shawnee Boy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
I see you. You doubled down on the Gritty Hour guy.
Yeah, you like it?
Well, yeah. Where'd you get that from? New Orleans, Mardi Gras?
No, it was. I got a feather. It was a gift from a very good friend who supports the show. Who the same guy who got me the light. The podcast light, and I definitely want to at least,
sponsor.
Yeah, our first real sponsor. So I wanted to put it up as a shout. I mean, I don't think it's going to work throughout the whole show because you know me, I need a seatbelt when I'm on this podcast.
Yeah, it's too distracting. We're going to be talking about serious things, and we can't be distracted by a floppy Gritty Hour guy.
I wanted to at least put it up and give it a shout out to it.
Very nice, very nice.
And then
as we're learning with the Zencaster, it crops, so we can't see your lava lamp over there or the Gritty Hour guy in the background. Now I can't even see your room with the massive Gritty Hour guy.
Go ahead.
I'll have to ask him how he got the graphics and all that done.
Yeah, I didn't ask him because he gave it to me at work. I'm walking around a school building with this fucking thing. I'm just like,
I hope you told everyone who asks what it's all about.
Well, and believe it or not, a couple of coworkers watched this, or at least have watched episodes, and they looked like, "Hey, the Gritty Hour." And I'm just like, "All right, well, it's kind of like free advertising."
We're a big hit in PS wherever the hell you work. Yep.
So I'm going to get up real quick and put them in the backdrop.
All right. While you're doing it, I'm going to show.
Yeah.
My new agent, who's with me in the studio for a quick second. That's my boy. 16th President of the United States, always on the lookout. So we're here with Shawnee Boy, and he's putting the massive Gritty Hour guy away. And might as well listen to some music while we're waiting for him. Musical interlude.
I'm going to have to make an adjustment on that at some point, but you can see it.
Well, I just showed our 16th president. If you were here in person, it's pretty imposing. He's life-size. I'm not sure he's width-size, but he's definitely life-size.
Well, you showed me before. He's got to be at least 5 feet.
Oh, no, he's over 6 feet, this guy. But he was in real life, too, so. But I think it's his actual size, this thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he never told a lie, did he?
That was George Washington. You teach what do you teach in school?
What do I teach in school? ELA.
Don't you dare say history. He never told a lie. Yeah. Oh my God, we're in serious trouble. But anyway, so how you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How was I know you can't go into detail, obviously, because what stays out West Coast stays out West Coast.
In Las Vegas, I had a very nice time. I essentially bet on horses.
Did you?
And drank beer. I drank beer and bet on horses.
Okay, I see you got a T-shirt. Your shirt's still on, so.
No, I think I got this from somebody. It might have been your brother last Christmas. I just wearing it today for the first time.
No, well, last week you were joking about how.
Not wearing a shirt. Yeah. But this sweatshirt I'm wearing, I think last Christmas your brother and sister-in-law bought me this, and Colin.
Yeah.
And I just getting around to it now.
Yeah.
Just took the tag off.
I got you.
Yeah, brand new, baby. Yeah.
I just took. I got this a year ago. I just decided to finally wear it.
Well, it's been in my closet since last Christmas. It looks
good on you.
I'm assuming it was them that got it to me.
Yeah.
Got me it for Christmas. Yeah. So, how have you been? We're going to talk about music today, I believe.
Yes, we're gonna. We should dive back into music, right? Because it's something we haven't.
Well, we need to talk about music. We were going to have your cousin here, but he couldn't make it. He's a very busy man.
Yeah, he's above our pay grade, so.
No, he's kicking ass and taking names. and he doesn't have time for chicken shit like this.
Dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let me try this out here. There you go. Game show host.
You gotta be quick on the trigger with those.
Yeah.
Though.
When I don't know if I love the little
Sound bites.
sound bites. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might get used to it, but for now, I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you and I were discussing before this podcast about discussing what I like to call musical waypoints, points in your life where music stood out as, you hear a song and it brings you back to that time, that kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And the first two songs that came to my head when I was a kid living in the Castle Hill Projects, me, J Lo, and Ed Krampel, was a song called "Down on the Corner" by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It fits that time, and every time I hear that song, I think about hanging around the neighborhood in Castle Hill Projects. And another song, and I'm trying to remember the name of this song. Beep beep, beep beep. You know that song?
I think I do. I do. Do that
Bang
one more.
bang. No, the name of the song is "Bang Bang" by Joe Cuba. Yeah, that's the name of the song, Joe Cuba. I'm actually typing it in. I'm doing a little Google
All
thing.
right. Little search on the show. All right. All right. While you search the first off the Creedence Clearwater, which I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally got into them. I don't know how I stumbled, but like no one else really listened to them in my group, and I don't think I didn't hear them from anybody. I kind of just fell into listening to them, and they got like 8
This
to
is the
10.
other song I was talking about. Hold it. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that or not, but
Did you hear my question or no?
no, I was listening to Joe Cuba.
Oh, so, okay. When the
Yeah.
music goes on, you can't hear me. Good to know. All right. Um, no, I said, did you? Is that song, that last one, "Bang Bang"? Is that like a summertime Bronx song? Is that what you think
Yeah,
of?
man.
Yeah.
Joe Cuba was from the Bronx, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard when I heard that. I heard like the. We'll go back to last week's podcast.
They put you right in that, open fire hydrant,
Yeah, exactly.
98 degrees.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So those
You,
two songs from my early childhood, you know, everything I am in this podcast, I'm always 7 in this podcast when we're talking about the past.
yeah.
So right after I got back from Montauk and the Jet game, it was all of a sudden it was summer.
Yeah.
I was listening to
Yeah.
Joe Cuba and "Down on the Corner" by Creedence.
Nice.
Yeah. So two songs that encapsulate the Castle Hill Projects portion of my life, which was the first portion of my life. What about yourself?
From when I was a kid?
Well, yeah, whenever you can
Yeah,
start
no.
wherever you want.
Yeah.
What are you 43?
I don't know.
You can work backwards if you want.
No, you made me think of. I think I shared it. I don't know if I shared it, but my first vinyl album was Thriller, and
Billy, what's his name?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. I was
Billy,
thinking of Billie Jean. No, I was thinking of the song Billie
yeah,
Jean.
Billie Jean. But,
Come on, easy mistake I made there.
No, that's an easy mistake.
Yeah.
Because like Billie Jean is the first song that comes to mind, and then like Thriller, and then also seeing the Thriller video at that age, and like that was like such a.
Do you associate it with a time and place, or at least a time? Well, you associate it with a time.
Yeah, I associate it with a time, but I associate it like in my house growing up in Westchester. Right, that song, and Hall and Oates.
The song Thriller, right?
Yeah, it's Thriller, but then also Hall and Oates. The song "Maneater." I mean, my mom still tells the story. I was like 4, and I would just dance around the house to like "Maneater." Like I don't know, but like those two songs always bring me back to like my childhood in the living room. Like I enjoyed dancing as a kid, like hopping around the house or whatever.
Yeah, a friend of mine who lives here, who lives here by me. Sorry, I'm trying to do
Yeah, I don't
Google
know
searching.
I don't know if I like the search business, buddy.
I know it's like we don't deal in facts,
Yeah. You're like, let me see when it came out. 82,
Well, no,
81.
a friend of mine played. His name is Paul Pesco. I've been trying to get him on the
Yeah.
podcast here, which hopefully he will be soon. Um, play guitar on a lot of. Well, he was he used to produce the show, the musical producer for Live from Daryl's House.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's worked with Hall and Oates for years. I just wanted to see who was the guitarist on that song. It was um, actually John Oates played lead guitar on Man Eater,
Yeah.
the song Man Eater.
I think that's early 80s.
I hate being armed with facts. I like just talking out of my ass.
Well, I was like 4 and I was dancing around to it, and I was born in
Yeah, you're
78.
right. It came out in 1982.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 4 years old in 82. Wow, look at my memory.
You got some memory, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can remember dance, obviously not the clearest picture, but dancing around the living room, hopping around to Man Eater. So
Yeah. And when you're 4, you can dance and go in your pants and get away with it.
you could listen when you're 4. There's no bad dance move at 4.
Mm-mm.
You could whatever, but you do that at 22. Be like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah. Well, when you're 4, oh, look how cute he
Yeah.
is. You could be dancing like Elaine Bennis and yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and then what other what you mentioned the song Billie Jean. What else from that album sticks out? The song Thriller.
Yeah, those 2 songs are the 2 that really stick out.
No, I think. I'm sorry. I think
No,
that guy from Van Halen played guitar on Billie Jean, didn't he? On one of them songs.
No, I know Slash played with Michael Jackson. I don't know if Eddie Van Halen might have. He might have Eddie Van Halen.
Let me go back to
Sure.
Google.
Right.
Who played guitar on?
While you research that,
I'll escape from Man Eater, and I'll type in Billie Jean.
The thing I remember the most about all that was opening up the vinyl, and he was laid out with a tiger next to him. Like like the vinyl would open up, it's like a book kind of concept.
Mm-hmm. What's the guy's name from Eddie Van Halen?
Eddie Van Halen,
guitarist.
Yeah.
He passed away recently, didn't he?
He did in the last year or so.
God rest his soul.
Yeah,
but he played guitar on one of the Michael Jackson songs.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, now it's bugging the hell out of me. I got to look. Yeah. What was his name again? Eddie Van Halen.
Stop researching.
Oh, we're gonna shut Google down in a second.
Yeah. Because then I'll talk while you're researching, but I realize I'm like he's not listening to me.
No, on one of the hits, "Beat It."
Yeah, that's
the
what
song
you said.
"Beat It."
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen played guitar on that song.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I can sleep tonight. Yeah.
There you go. You feel better?
Yeah, I feel better now. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, those are the 2 things that stand out to me of songs like when I was a kid. Also, obviously, we used to listen to the Star Wars books on tape, but I don't really want to get into that.
That was Paul Williams, wasn't it?
I forget, but
the orchestration for.
Yeah, it was the orchestration, but it was also it would tell the story. There would be someone verbally telling the story of the Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't really music.
Wow, that was some robust musical interludes in your early life there.
Yeah, listen, I didn't have the
advantage of 5 brothers and sisters throwing music at
you. Exactly. And my Kristen, my sister, she was big into music, but she didn't find her way until.
Well, God rest her soul. Kristen was big into New Kids on the Block. I remember that.
Yes, she was huge in New Kids on the Block.
Didn't she run a gigantic New Kids on the Block fan club?
Yeah,
with thousands of people in it.
Yeah, in the 1980s when it was all done through letters in the mail.
Wow.
And I'm going to share this story. It's a true story. So her and her friend from the neighborhood started the New Kids on the Block fan club through Tiger Beat, whatever one of those magazines were. And they said, if you mail in a letter that you want to be a part of the fan group or fan, the New Kids on the Block fan, whatever it's called, and you send $5, you'll get a T-shirt in return.
Okay.
Well, they had over 1,000, 2,000 people sending money, and they never sent.
Who did?
My
Oh,
sister.
your sister put an ad in that
Yeah,
magazine?
yeah, yeah. To start a
Oh,
fan
oh,
club,
oh.
and she got all. I mean, I don't know. Maybe let's call it 1,000. I don't know,
So you can get a $20 T-shirt if you send in $5.
something like that. And they never sent back T-shirts. They just collected money.
Nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Did she
yeah.
send the money back? What
No,
did
no.
she?
And this is, my sister was super intelligent. Like, this was her. Like, she's 11, and like she like understood how to like maneuver. So
Already devising pyramid schemes, eh?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not one shirt was mailed out to not one person.
No, no. But she had a cardboard cutout of them the size of your Abe Lincoln statue over there. That
Hmm.
I mean, I despised it. Oh boy, like at the time, she's New Kids on the Block. I'm a younger brother. I'm like, they suck, blah blah blah, and we get like an argument about, you know. And looking back, like New Kids on the Block, they still, do you know they still perform?
Oh, they must be your age or somewhere
Oh yeah,
between
yeah,
your age and my age.
yeah. But they do like a New Kids on the Block cruise,
Hmm.
and all these huge like fans go, and then they perform, and then I don't know, whatever happens.
Well, just recently being out in Vegas, for years, I think it's a common perception that musical artists that go out to Vegas usually at the tail end of their career. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's got to be still true. But anyway, Rod Stewart was playing out there last weekend when I was there. So
Where
you know,
artists go to die.
yeah, Rod Stewart and what's the name of that band that did Bittersweet Symphony?
Oh, the Nerve,
The Verve, the
the
Verve.
Verve, the Verve, not Nerve, the
I
Verve.
think they were playing out there
Yeah,
too. Mm.
they had two hits.
Ironically, huh?
They had two hits. That they had Bittersweet Symphony.
Say
Jesus
that
Christ,
without losing your teeth. Yeah.
Bittersweet Symphony, and then they also had Lucky Man or something like that was their other hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
A
was good.
remake of the ELP song or a different
No,
Lucky
no, I
Man?
think that it was their own. It was their own thing.
Oh. Well, anyway, we did see the show Love, which is Cirque du Soleil
Those are awesome.
with it's all about the Beatles.
Oh,
It's
that's
all
cool.
Beatles stuff. It's in somewhat chronological order, whatever. Great sounds. It was in the Mirage that we saw the show. In fact, this arena was built for this show. It's been there for like 17 years. They took the place of those two guys with the lions or the tigers that you know,
After the incident.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is their thing. It wasn't crowded. It was maybe slightly more than half full. The audience. I don't know if it's on its last legs or what, but
I'd rather have it that way,
I
wouldn't
think
you?
it's been 17 years that they've been doing it here at the Mirage.
Wouldn't you rather have it that way? Like nice little some space. It's not so crowded.
Oh yeah, I had my
Yeah,
feet draped over the seats into the seat spot in front of me.
yeah, that's awesome.
But it was, it was nice. I love the sound system. Like I said, this place was built for um, this particular show. So, but and it's like surrounded, really good acoustics in there.
Yeah,
But then you got guys coming off of ropes from the ceiling, and people
yeah,
going
yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
There,
like the music, you know.
do they?
And I
Do they?
actually thought of you because you were telling your girlfriend at the time, I'm not really a Beatles fan, but named like 50, 60 Beatles songs, and you say, "Well, I liked all of them."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, that you would have enjoyed. Just like you forget that how many friggin' songs they had.
Oh, they have literally. They probably have 50 monster hits.
Probably, yeah.
Yes,
And
I
but
mean,
even the ones that weren't monster hits
yeah,
are familiar songs.
yeah,
The Beatles have become like it's hard to grow up in the world without hearing a Beatles song. Wherever the hell in the world you are, it's become like Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's like
yeah, yeah.
everyone's heard, Hard Day's Night or whatever. It's like you genetically know the song or whatever. But it reminded me of just how many friggin' songs they had back in the '60s. Pretty powerful.
Did they perform to the music? Was it like in tuned with the music, or
Yeah,
they
there's
just
a lot of choreographed dancing, which
yeah,
I'm not a fan of, but I listen to the music, and guys going off flying around in ropes and whatever. But I just sat there and enjoyed the music.
Whatever. These fucking
Yeah.
guys with their things, but whatever.
Guys coming out of the
Yeah,
ceiling.
yeah. All right, all right. Come on, it's a good part. Stop it.
But it was a little, like they come out, how like the show ends and they all leave and then they all come out to wave at you and then they leave and then they come out again and they're waving at you. When the crowd is like half full, maybe more, a little more, a little less than half full, it's a little, yeah. All right, take care. All right,
Yeah.
go away and keep going away. It's like I felt embarrassed for them. They were coming out because the crowd was kind of like low key. There wasn't any like standing ovations or
Oh no. Oh, okay. All right.
rip roaring cheers.
Yeah.
So, but they still came out and hey, all right,
Yeah.
beat it.
Yeah.
But
Back
I
to
enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music. Like I said, I'm not a fan of choreographed dancing.
yeah.
Like West Side Story would be a great movie if it wasn't for the friggin' dancing and the singing. You know.
The Beatles. That's like high school, college for me.
What do you mean?
That's like when like I think a lot of people find the Beatles at that age if they're gonna find the Beatles. You
Hmm.
know, like you're in high school because like when you're 10, yeah, maybe you like maybe the stuff in the 50s, early stuff, but you're not gonna get into like the Sergeant Pepper or the.
No, but I think even today, it's really hard to get from being born to being an adult without hearing at least three or four Beatles songs
Oh, yeah, I
somewhere in
mean
your life,
commercials. I mean,
wherever.
you don't even realize they're in the commercials, but they are.
Yellow Submarine. Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to go through life without hearing a Beatles song.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I enjoyed the music. You could, I could take, you could take the dancing and the swinging from ropes and all, but I enjoyed the music,
yeah.
and I just enjoyed the sound quality of the place was really great. Great.
Did you enjoy the Mirage?
Yeah, well, I stayed there the first time I went to Vegas back in the 80s. Las Vegas is in. Have you ever been to Vegas?
Once. I have a story about the Mirage.
Oh, well, Las
Yeah,
Vegas. The first time I went there was I think it was like 1990 maybe, and maybe 91 or so, and it's a different Vegas than it was then because we stayed at the Mirage, and I remember like you come out of the Mirage and you walk towards Caesars, which takes up a whole block unto itself, and I think the thing after that was like um, what do you call it with the knights and they stabbing each other?
uh, Excalibur or something.
Excalibur, and then it's like desert. It's like
Yeah,
you see cactus. It's like the sidewalk runs out and you're in the
yeah,
desert.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now it's like so crazily built up. It's
Yeah,
just there's hotels on top of hotels on top of casinos on. But what I like to do when I'm there is sit in a sports book, and I enjoyed the first time the Mirage sports book. You sit there and you bet $5 on the next 7 races, and somebody brings you a beer for free. Can't beat it.
that's good.
And it's
If
basically what I did last weekend too. So
did you make a little moolah?
I was down. I was down like $19.
Oh, geez, how'd you get
And then
through it?
like the last race, I forget what day we was, either Sunday or Saturday. Um, I just saw in the last race I bet on was a horse called, and my method is just I pick names that I like. It's probably just as good as any other friggin' method. Um, the name of the horse was Irish Giant, and the reason why I bet it because my friend Jr. His brother, who I worked with, had gone to Ireland, and his brother Chris is a big Giant fan, and he happened to be going to Ireland, staying with his cousins. I forget the reason, maybe a death in the family or something. He went to Ireland, and he had his Giant jersey on when he got to his cousin's house, and when he pulls up to the front of the house, as the Irish do, they all come to the front door. A lot of people over there do that. And the little kid, I guess his little cousin, maybe, let's say he's 7, okay, runs up to him, grabs his hand, and brings him in, and he's bringing him up to the front of the house, and he says to his family, he's got giants on his shirt, and he's a giant himself. Well, anyway, that story always stuck in my head, and when I saw Irish Giant, I forget what his odds were, but I bet $10 to win, and by God, he won.
Oh hell yeah,
So
that's awesome.
That
That's
put me in the plus.
Yeah.
For the weekend. So
right. Flush, you're like this. That's
yeah,
right. Flush.
a little bit enough for a couple of beers. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. It was fun hanging out with the fellas that I grew up with.
Yeah, a lot of laughs. I'm guessing a lot of laughs.
We did. We had fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
But I felt tired all weekend. It was like, I don't know if it was jet lag, because you're hanging out at 10 o'clock at night. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh yeah.
So by the time my body got used to it, it was like, we got to go to the airport now.
Yeah. And they get readjusted on the East Coast.
Yeah. So, arduous flight coming back, though. Like, everybody in Vegas left at the same time Monday morning. And,
well, if you think about it, people go from Thursday to Sunday or Friday to Sunday, and they do that morning flight on Monday probably. That's probably
I thought most people would have left on Sunday. In fact, I was encouraged because I saw people at the registration desk. We stayed at the Link across the street from the Mirage.
Uh-huh.
And, I saw a lot of people with their bags checking out on Sunday. I'm like, we're going to skate tomorrow, man.
It's going to be smooth sailing.
Yeah, the TSA line was like, there was like 900 people on the friggin' line.
Right. Oh, and then you get on the plane, you're in the middle, and you're next to some old lady, and then some weird guy. You're like,
yes.
Boy.
And then we flew into Newark, and it was like maybe an hour after former Vice President Joe Biden landed in Newark on Monday. So, but it was a good time. I'd do it again tomorrow if I could.
Yes. Yeah. For anyone who's never been to Vegas, it really does, like, even now it just ends, like you're used to an East Coast city, like it turns into like a suburb or like a smaller version of a city, and but in Vegas it's just like done. We're done, and like it's over. It's such a weird thing when you first.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like the layout of the city, so it's Vegas, it's all the buildings, and it just becomes the desert. It's such a weird thing to see.
Oh yeah, but it's hard to see the desert now. There's so many friends. Yeah. When's the last time you were there?
I was there 20 years ago, 22 years ago, something like that. Actually, 23 years ago, because I'll tell you the story about the Mirage, of what happened in the Mirage, but it was about 23 years ago. Yeah,
I want to hear the story.
Oh, yeah. So I'm 20.
Wait, let me do this.
There you go. I'm 20, and I'm living the college life, and my brother is 4 years older, but we look alike, so I have his ID, and I'm at the time.
Boy.
And I was
with he was there too.
No, it was my dad. It's my dad and me.
We in Vegas.
Yeah. We flew out to see. That's when my mom was in Vegas.
Right, so, yes, sorry, yes, okay.
Yeah. So that's where I met Kevin.
Yes. I was supposed to meet Kevin, but he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
Which I think was his way of saying, screw you, I ain't coming out.
And then and Aunt Rita, saw them. And then we drove down to see Kristen in Arizona, whatever. But while I was in Vegas, I'm 20 years old. I'm living like college life. And if you just picture like Animal House. I'm living a life like it's Animal House. And now I'm with my dad in Vegas, and he wants to go to bed at 9:30, and I'm like, no, I'm going to go down to the Mirage. We didn't stay in the Mirage, but I went to the Mirage Casino. Maybe it was next door. I don't know.
Okay.
And I started betting on, I started betting.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm sure at 20 I looked pretty young. My hair wasn't gray yet, right? So, and then the security guy
though, as I recall.
The security guy comes up to me, and he's like, "You got ID?" And like me being 20 and fucking brazen, I'm like, "Yeah, I got ID. What are you talking about?" So I take out my ID, and then he looks. He's like, "Dude, this is whatever he said. Like it's fake, or it's not you, or it's expired." He takes the ID, kicks me out, like drags me out, kicks me out of Mirage. So like every time I hear that, I just and I go back to the room, and this is my like 20-year mind. Do you
Wait,
believe
he kept the ID?
he kept the ID? He wouldn't get back to me. So
Nice.
yeah. So then I go back to the room, and I'm just like, you believe this? He took my ID, like not thinking like I'm the asshole, like not breaking the law or doing something wrong. I was like immediately like fuck him, and then the next day I call my brother. I'm like, yo, you have to go to the DMV and get me an ID again because I had like 10 months left before I turned 21, and I still had a college life to live. So such a selfish move. I know. And then my brother's like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, you have to make it happen." And of course, he did because he's awesome. But so, what are you gonna do?
Were you winning? Were you up? Were you down?
No, I was. I mean, I think I just started gambling. Like maybe I put $5 to $10. But it's basic. I never even gambled before at a casino, so I probably looked real nervous, or whatever. And
Yeah.
so
Well, I had a little time on on my own. I was with, there's like 5 or 6 of us, but I was, I forget. I think a couple of my friends. I think they were in the sports book in the Red Rocks, which is about a half an hour off the strip.
yeah,
Well, either way, so but the point I wanted to make was when you're there a couple of days, after like 4 days, you're like you really start to get sick of Vegas. Vegas is a short
yeah,
spurt thing.
three nights.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
max.
yeah, 3 nights.
Because fourth day I was like, yeah, I was sitting in the room in the hotel. I was like, yeah, I think I'll go down to check out some of the casinos, because they're all right there, on the
Yeah,
strip.
yeah,
And as soon as I walked through the first casino after the link, I think it's Harris. They're physically attached to one another. I was like, with the bells and the ding, 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 ding.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do it. It's like I've been hearing this for 3, 4 days in a row
Yeah.
already. When you get there, you're excited with the ding, 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 but by the third or fourth day, it's like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Well, no,
So
when
I
I
went
hear
to Subway and grabbed a sandwich and went back to my hotel room.
you're like, fuck this,
Yeah.
fuck this shit. That
So,
makes me think of like by the third or fourth day, like the ding ding ding. I'm like, dude, there's some guy who just lost his house, his wife's leaving him. That's what goes through my head. I'm like, oh, someone right now is having a tough weekend.
well,
Someone's
they don't
having,
have the a lot of the smaller machines that they used to have. You could sit. There was a time when you could sit on your own and there'd be nobody in there and you could just throw some quarters into a machine.
there's no such thing as
Now they're
quarter.
all these humongous.
Yeah,
They're like video game things.
yeah, it's like a whole screen, and
Yeah, and you're definitely when you sit at one of them, you're definitely conspicuous. I don't like sitting there being conspicuous. What if I
yeah.
did win? There's 15 guys standing there waiting to roll you.
And there we have it, folks. And there we have it.
you know. So I didn't play any of those things, and
Yeah,
I'm not a big guy with the blackjack or craps or roulette.
yeah, yeah.
I did. I laid one bet down for a friend of mine on the roulette, which is not even. They don't even have that wheel thing anymore. It's a video wheel. So that's modern technology for you. So
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, man. That's
had
awesome.
a good time. Had a
Yes.
good time.
It,
We got off the music for a minute, but I figured that's why I was talking about that show Love. At least I was talking about music.
well, yeah, it connected to the Beatles, but but the must have felt good to just get the fuck out for a minute because everyone's you've been in New York for the last how many years? How many years? Probably two.
Um, without going anywhere.
Yeah, without like really taking a trip, without even thinking about taking a trip.
Went to Napa in 2019, pre-COVID,
Yeah, yeah. So
where Rich's son got married. So we all went out there for that.
the one that Michelle and
The
Keith.
one Keith and Michelle, who live
No,
here in
that's
Millbrook now,
that's
they
cool.
they got married in wine country out there.
Yeah.
Which when we were in Vegas, they got a ton of rain up there, which I guess they needed. I think they actually had floods in San Francisco.
Oh, good for them. They definitely need that stuff.
I don't know if they needed it all at once like that, but yeah,
Wow, better to get it than not to get it, right?
yeah.
Um, which makes me think of, I was talking about when I was 20. I was talking to some buddies like we've shared that I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, or at least the first 8 albums,
Hmm.
and there's their fourth album, which I always say is their best album. That's like a musical point in my life.
Got the one with Better Man on it.
No, that's the third one. That's Vitalogy, but
Okay.
the Vitalogy one is the one where mainstream started to fall off them, and the diehard Pearl Jam fans kept following them.
Mm-hmm.
Vitalogy was where they did the Ticketmaster, standoff, whatever.
Oh yeah, and
And then
the bootlegging thing, right?
yeah, but the Ticketmaster, nothing changed.
There was
Not
a
that they,
bunch of. I'm sorry, I was going to say there was a bunch of bands that are heavily bootlegged. Like Springsteen was always heavily bootlegged, and Pearl
yeah,
Jam and the Grateful Dead. There was always a bunch of bands that were heavily bootlegged. There was a whole market for these bootlegs.
yes, yeah. I used to have a lot of them.
But Pearl Jam was one of the first bands that actually embraced that. In fact, I think for a while they would release the soundboard after every concert
Yep, yep.
online or somewhere.
Oh yeah,
So that was pretty.
pretty
I
clever.
was impressed by that.
Yeah, they the fourth album is called No Code, and like a lot of my friends who like Pearl Jam, I'm like listen to No Code, like the whole album for me. It's the whole fucking album, like from start to finish. That's me at 20 years old in college. That's
All
like
right,
one of
one
my
more time on Google. What's the name of the album?
no, as in no, fuck off. Code, COD. That's my college album. That's the one.
I'm just looking at it. It's got 6 songs on it.
No,
Oh no, I had to expand the thing. It's got
yeah,
12 songs on it. I was
yeah.
looking for a song that I could recognize by the title. I'm sure I recognize them if I hear it, but
But it's like it's not like a there's not one song on there that's like radio played. I'm
yeah,
sure there's a song on there that's been played on the radio, but it hasn't been like a mainstream play.
I understand. That's
Yeah.
sometimes a good thing.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah,
first song is called Sometimes. It's amazing. Am I
yeah.
right? Sometimes it's a lead off.
Sometimes the first song,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, "Who You Are in My
Oh,
Tree."
who you are has like a tribal sound to it. It's so good.
Hmm.
So
Well, I
good.
always liked Eddie Vedder's voice.
Yeah.
They started doing probably after this album. What'd you say this was their 4th album?
Fourth album, yeah. So I'm guessing like 99 ish, 98, 99, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they started doing a couple of covers, right? I've heard him do "Love Reign Over Me" by the Who,
I've heard every cover they've done. I've heard live, so that's an
and
amazing
what's
one
the name of
live.
that song? Oh, where can my baby be?
Last Kiss.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
a
And then there's they would do the Teenage Wasteland by the Who, Baba O'Reilly.
really.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think I've heard them do
yeah.
Bob O'Reilly.
Neil Young's "Rockin' in the Free World," which is amazing.
Hmm.
There's others. Again, I've seen them so many times, but there's a lot of good covers that they do throughout.
Yeah.
They did
Well.
Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down" sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But did
Yeah,
they ever come out with the recordings of these, or just the
just
bootlegs?
on the bootlegs, just on the
Uh huh.
bootlegs. Yeah.
Because I thought the one I heard, that Last Kiss song, I thought that was a studio that I was listening to. Same thing with
I think
Love Reign Over Me. I think was I know I remember hearing him do it from Madison Square Garden. Love Reign
yes.
Over Me, but I'm pretty sure I heard him do it in the studio. I could be wrong though. It's hard to
Um,
decipher.
I'm trying to think because they've made like in between their albums, they made like definitely one, maybe two, like best of kind of albums, and those might be on there, but I don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I
Hmm.
know, and definitely not Baba O'Reilly, but Last Kiss might be on one of those like best of albums things.
Yeah. Well, maybe after this podcast, I'll have to give Bob O'Reilly by Pearl Jam a listen because
Yeah,
that's one of
yeah,
my favorite songs of all time.
yeah. Um,
Um, I've heard so many different versions of that song, including the Blue Man Group. Speaking of Vegas, but
nice.
the original is still the most potent to me.
Yeah, the just, I mean, it's a
A lot of raw energy in that song on the studio
oh,
recording.
yeah.
Yeah.
The what was I gonna say? Connected to Pro Jam, you made me think of Teenage Wasteland and like the voice of the teenager, right? Nirvana's "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Like, I mean, that was my generation's fucking anthem.
Hmm.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Are you
Who?
googling?
What's that guitar player's
Are
name
you
that was in it?
googling right now?
No, I'm taking this sticker off a cigarette
All right,
lighter.
all
Yeah.
right.
I figured
I
I'm not a child, so I know what
yeah.
the dangers are.
What's the name of
Who was the guitar player in Nirvana besides the guy
the
that
tall
died?
the tall guy was the bassist. Was there four of them? I think there was just three of them. And then you have
Was
the guy who started the oh my god,
Foo Fighters?
yeah. I
That's
can't
what I
think.
thought. David Grohl, is it?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I was afraid to say David Grohl in case I was way off, but I had
He
David Grohl in my head.
he's a hell of a musician as well. You
Well,
know, he's a,
he definitely kept his career going. Yeah, after what was the gentleman's name in Nirvana that died?
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that was big. I didn't dislike them either. I think the thing I liked most about that guy was left-handed guitarist Kurt Cobain. He was a
Okay,
lefty.
was he a left-handed guitarist?
Pretty sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
the that song "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Pearl Jam's "Jeremy," which I know you know, and
Oh
Red
yeah.
Hot Chili Peppers "Under the Bridge." Those three songs are like my teenage high school years
Yeah.
to a
Well,
T.
we did better, man. When in the band I was in,
Did you
when we
really?
used to when we used to play out, we did better, man. Yeah.
Can't find a better man.
Oh yeah. The thing I liked about it is I could have a smoke in the first half of the songs, no drums.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, it was a fun song to play too, because you rock out at the end.
Yeah, it has a good build up. Has a good
Hmm.
build up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely there is a difference between the stages of your life that you listen to versus what I listen to. I was going to say, like in the 70s, the big artist in my family in the early 70s was Cat Stevens.
I like Cat Stevens. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of
like
his.
the entire T for the Tillman album, Teaser and the Firecat album, Catch Bullet 4 album. Um, what was the name? Mona Bone Jack Owen was the name of that album. I think it was Mona Bone Jack Owen. Anyway, not one. There's like not one on any of those albums I just mentioned. There's not one song I don't like on it. You
It's
know?
not the best. It's like songs are great, but when you find an album where like you just love it from start to finish,
Oh
that's
yeah, Van Morrison. And
yeah.
again, I can go through a bevy of Van Morrison albums from that same time period, where I don't dislike. I hate using double negatives, but I don't dislike one song on the entire album.
Or you like all the songs
Tupelo
on the album.
Honey, Street Choir, Caravan, all those albums,
Yeah.
just like every single song I like. Yeah.
To this
Does
day.
it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what I mean.
Van.
Like an album that you love from start to finish. I think that's something you'll have forever.
Yeah, Van the Man is always going to be up there
Yeah.
in my book. But back to Cat Stevens, there's an album called Foreigner. I think it was called Foreigner. Um, let me go back to Google. There's a song called The Hurt.
Let me just gonna check.
There's a
Hurt.
song called The Hurt by Cat Stevens.
Is that where?
I'm going to tell you a drumming story. I just want to say, just want to see what album it was on. Foreigner. The name of the album is Foreigner. There's a song called The Hurt. Bernard Purdy. Did you ever hear of him?
No.
Studio drummer mostly. I think he's still with us. Phenomenal studio drummer. Bernard Purdy. Played the drums on that song. And you remember I was a couple of podcasts ago, I was talking about being taught to listen to the little nuances in songs.
Mhm.
Do yourself a favor, listen to The Hurt when you got some time.
I'm writing it down.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Who does it?
Cat Stevens. Whatever the
I've
hell his
heard it
name is
before,
now.
just so you know. It's not ringing a bell right now, though.
Yusuf, whatever his name is.
Yusuf, how
Anyway,
you doing?
Cat Stevens. Bernard Purdy, it's been pretty much disclosed, um, um, brushed up a lot of the drumming on the early Beatle albums. Like they had him come in and do a little brush up on Ringo Starr's drumming.
Little
cleanup action. So that's that's how far back he goes. But you got to listen to the drums on this song, "The Hurt," and just be wowed by. It's not like overbearing drums. It's not a phenomenal drum solo. It's just quaint little drums, but the little nuances of the drumming will will you'll like it if because I know you appreciate music.
Yeah.
Another song by Cat. While we're talking about Cat Stevens drumming, there's a song called Angelcia, which I'm not sure how if that's. I don't know if it's Angel C or Angelcia. It's Angel.
Google will correct it.
SCA. Um, I don't know who the hell's playing the drums on that song, but the drums on that song are also phenomenal. You know, Cat Stevens always had really great musicians on his albums, but if you listen to the drums on that and the Hurt, I think you might enjoy it.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah,
check that out. I'll put those onto my Spotify rotation list and get a little flavor, get a little taste.
yeah. But you got to hear it with them headphones on, and if your volume goes up to 10, try and get it up to 11.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, my
like
ears
Spinal
crack.
Tap.
My ears crackle these days. I listen to music so loud my whole life.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, you can relate?
Some songs need to be listened to
Yeah.
as high as you can get it without it becoming distorted.
I'm banking on some good hearing aids in about 15 years.
That's all right. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Ah,
What?
Sean,
Actually,
how you doing? Ah,
it might be better. I won't have to fucking hear people anymore.
yeah. No, it's well, don't hurt yourself, but
Yeah.
get it as loud as you can without hurting
Yeah.
yourself. How's that sound?
Yeah. That made me think of and I was a little bit late on, Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, but like who was the voice of like your generation growing up? Who was like that singer that just like was wowed you?
In terms of the vocal performance,
Yeah, like in your generation growing up, you're just like that guy can fucking sing.
and it's hard to say. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a big Springsteen fan.
Yeah.
So, and I always appreciated his vocals. He actually is an underrated vocalist. A lot of people, people that don't like him, think he's a mumbler or a
They say that about Eddie
gravelly.
Vedder. They say that about Eddie Vedder too.
Yeah, but he did work himself into being quite the vocalist.
Yeah.
So for me, are you talking about my generation's voice?
No, for you.
For me specifically,
Yeah.
it's hard to say. I don't know if I had one specific person in my head in terms of a vocalist. It's about who you listen to, not so much the quality of the voice is good, but it's about who you're listening to, what's on your turntable at the time.
Well, the masses would say the guy from Queen. I can't think of his name right now. Right, that would probably be the masses.
Yeah, the guy from Queen. Yeah, well, he had a good voice. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me, but
that I guess that's what I'm trying to get.
Freddie Mercury was his name.
Yeah,
God rest his soul.
It depends on it depends on your taste, right? Like for me, I always thought Eddie Vedder like had such just an awesome voice, and some people are like, "You like his voice? He sounds like he's whining the whole time," and I'm like, "That's I don't hear it like that."
No, yeah. And again, when he did "Love Reign Over Me," actually, let's talk about Roger Daltrey. I mean,
yeah,
but Eddie Vedder, he did justice to that song too.
Yeah,
he definitely "Love Reign Over Me." That's not an easy song to sing, actually.
He's right around your age. They're big Who fans, or at least he is.
Eddie Vedder?
Yeah, they're right around in the mid to upper 50s. So I don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you guys probably have similar taste in some music.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But Roger Daltrey, I mean, if you listen to the vocals on Barbara O'Reilly or Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Won't
really,
Get Fooled Again.
Yeah, both from the same album, actually. Who's Next?
That's the last time I'll sing because I can't sing.
Yeah, I can't sing either.
Yeah.
I sound like the Staten Island Ferry in reverse when I'm singing. Yeah.
That's something I would love to be able to do for like a day, a weekend. If they're like, all right, you can have this special gift. Obviously I would love to have it for my whole life, but I would love to be able to like sing. I think that would be so much fun to be a good singer, like a good like rock, raspy, like just fucking getting after it.
Yeah, Tom Waits.
Yep.
Was another raspy voice,
Yeah.
but you got to listen. You want to throw another one on the list there? Get the pen out. This
Tommy
is a
Waits.
no, but this is a slow song.
Yeah.
Called Kentucky Avenue. Treat yourself to that
Uh,
when you
Kentucky.
nice.
Tommy Waits from Co-op City, Kentucky. Yeah.
Tom Waits, Kentucky Avenue is the name of the
I
song.
got it. Yeah.
You just listen to the lyrics and just listen to his vocals on that track, and you're gonna get wrapped up into that song.
That's awesome. That's
It can be a goosebump song if you listen to it in the right frame of mind.
that's what I love shit like that's. So I'm gonna share. Once I guess we move on from this, but like the Goosebump song, like I thought that's what I thought about today, and it's I don't say it like emotionally, like when my sister did pass away,
Mm-hmm.
when I heard the news, Coldplay, the song "Scientist," just fucking forget it. To this day, like now, like maybe like when I first a couple years I would get emotional too, but now like it's more like I feel good around that song.
Yeah,
and the lyrics and the tone of it and the whole thing just connected to that moment, and that song is forever attached to it.
What's the name of the song?
Scientist.
Scientist by Coldplay.
Yeah, and like one of the key phrases in it is like, I wish we could just go back to the start. You know, and it's just such a it's for me today. It was medicine then, and it's medicine now, and like but in like a positive way.
Very nice. I'll have to listen to that because every time I hear the word "sometime," the song "Sometimes," which we discussed previously,
Yeah, you think
by what's the name of that band?
James.
I think of your sister.
Yeah.
When my father died, your grandfather, a song there was two songs that were prevalent. It was like three songs now that I think about it. One was that "The Living Years."
Fuck it.
A song by Sting called "All This Time."
In his solo career.
Yeah, Sting.
I don't know if I know his solo career that well.
It was right around the time my father passed away. It had gotten some radio play. Anyway, I got into it's a song about him and his father. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
and then "Rhythm of My Heart" is just Rod Stewart, I think. "The Rhythm of My Heart is beating like a drum."
I know that song.
Yeah, it has a slight Celtic feel to that song.
Yeah.
So those three, but specifically the last two of those three, when around the time my father passed away, I can hear them today and think about that time.
Yeah.
But like you said, after enough time passes, it doesn't make you cry, but it gives you happy thoughts.
Yeah. And the first 6 months you're bald. I'm like, oh my god, right?
Yeah.
But like it's been a long time now, so like it's more like it puts you back into space, and it's like you learn to like remember like the positive of somebody close to you who dies maybe too young, or you lose your parent, like because it's for me. I'll keep it on me. It should be about thinking positive. It's easy to just be like, this is terrible, and like I understand that feeling, but I want to think of like when I hear songs like that and like feel good about it.
Yeah. Did you purposely? There's a light over your head that makes it look like a halo.
Yeah, I saw it before and I was like, should I get up?
Halloween's coming up,
Yeah.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Halloween is coming up on Sunday, and it made me think. I'm just like the kids. This Halloween week, the kids are not that they're bad, but they're like a little more juiced up. And like it was Wednesday, it was yesterday, and I'm like,
because they're on a sugar rush. That's
yeah. I'm like, why do they seem a little bit different this week? And then someone today was just like, hey, it's Halloween Sunday. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because like Halloween, and that's a middle school holiday. Like that's their day, that's their time.
Well, middle school and younger.
Yeah, and younger, but like middle school, like it's their. I said that I picked them because like they can go around without parents, right? They can
that's right. You teach that age.
Yeah, they can get candy and do whatever they do.
You teach them that Abe Lincoln never told a lie.
No. Yeah, I told him Abe Lincoln, he cut down some tree or something.
Yeah, he helped George Washington cut that tree down.
Chop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So And like I want to say with the Coldplay song, it's if you broke it down, it's about a relationship, like a guy and a girl, or whatever, however you want to see that.
The Scientist.
Yeah, but what I love about that's what I love about music because I remember one time I had a friend who's like, "No, that's not what it means." I'm like, "No, man, that's not what music's about. Like how I'm hearing it, how I'm getting it, what I'm getting from it, whether that's the intention of the artist or not. Like that's how I'm seeing the meaning of it, and that's what I
Right.
love about music is like I can interpret it in a different way. It doesn't have to go. Yeah, like that's the artist story. That's what they're telling, but I
Right. But
connect to it
you draw down what you need to draw down from it.
exactly,
Yeah.
and like I think that's one of the most beautiful things about music.
Yeah. That's what sometimes sucks when you hear lyrics that aren't the real lyrics. You know,
Oh yeah, you're like I've been
it's,
singing it. I've been singing it wrong for.
sometimes it ruins the whole friggin' song. You know.
You're like I've been saying this the wrong word for it. That's a Pro Jam song. That I'm like, dude, for 20 years I've been saying this the wrong thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
sometimes it changes your whole outlook on the friggin' song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're like, meanings
Especially,
changed.
especially when it means something to you with the wrong lyrics.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
go kart, go kart. I thought he said rocket launcher.
yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, but that happens. You know.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you hear what you hear, and then eventually you hear. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
that's you talking about that song, or any song around someone who passed away. Eventually, when enough time passes, you want to hear that song and think about the good, you know, the memories you have with the person that passed away,
yeah, yeah.
rather than the fact that they passed away.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that takes
So,
time. Like everyone's different, but you just have to go through that process. You know,
and some people never get over it, and that's fine too. You know.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I remember my brother.
Well,
This is like,
I'm sorry.
go ahead, no, go ahead.
I was going to say your sister passed away. How old was she?
20,
I want to say it's 27,
28.
28. I
It's
was.
going to be 29 that year.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking of a book. Somebody wrote a book about all the
20,
musicians.
yeah, 27-year-olds.
Yeah, it's like the magic year when,
Yeah.
if you're in the music industry, you know. In fact, that's what the guy from Nirvana was, 27.
Yes, him, the Doors, Janis Joplin,
Yeah,
the newer
Jimmy
girl,
Jimi Hendrix,
Jimi Hendrix, the new
the
she
Rehab Girl,
yeah, she was a loungy singer. Yeah, yeah, her.
Rehab Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's others too, I'm sure.
Oh, there's
Um,
plenty. I think somebody wrote an actual book about it. And
you know,
dying at 27. You know.
the music. I always like ask my students. I was like, oh, like I don't. Sometimes I talk a little bit deeper about it, but I'm like, oh, you guys listen. You listen to music, and like for me, like when I was in middle school and up, music was like therapy. Sometimes, like like Pro Jam was about like the angst of a teenager a lot of times, and you're like, yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I
You
forget
know,
who said it. I think it might have been Springsteen said rock and roll can save your life when you're 16 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you like when you're 16, how often do you really it may be different now, but when we grew up, like in your generation, like you didn't really go to your parents and be like, hey, I don't feel good about like
Can
myself.
we talk?
Yeah, that wasn't like I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see. Can you help me? Like,
No, it's music can get you through your teen years. You know,
yeah, yeah,
sometimes it's the only thing that gets you through your teen years. You know,
yeah,
for some people, and that's fine. That's what music's there for. You know, time of your life.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, so the question people have asked me: would you rather be blind or deaf? I'm like blind because I mean, not like you
Let's
know,
not. Let's not. Let's hope you never have to
yeah. Well,
choose.
yeah. I was
You know.
just, I was just, I got
Yeah.
caught in I got excited. I got excited.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's other options. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What would you rather be? I want to have both. How's that?
Yeah. Well, if you were hard of hearing or hard of seeing, I'd rather be hard of seeing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
wouldn't want to
maybe
lose.
not because with hearing aids, maybe like they,
Mm.
I don't want to get too deep. I'm getting off topic. Getting off
Yeah, that's a tangent. We don't want to get on that
topic.
tangent.
Yeah,
You know, we're not doctors. We
yeah,
don't know nothing.
yeah. Oh shit.
But it's always good to talk about music. I
Yeah,
mentioned in the last podcast it was time to talk about music. Um, everything we talked about was music related, believe it or not, even Vegas. So,
yeah.
Viva Las Vegas. Um, but I think it's time we bring people back to this podcast. I think
I think so. I think so.
we've run this new platform up the flagpole, and I already made the purchase of this thing.
This is this is the best quality I've had recording with you. I've seen you haven't been glitchy at all. It's been
I think
smooth.
it's because I put my credit card in before this podcast.
Okay. They're like, oh yeah, you want to do the free one? This is how the free one
Somebody
goes.
at Zencast said, "All right, give them the good
Yeah.
crap then."
Whoop.
Yeah.
They have to. Whoop.
Yeah. No, yeah, you've been clear. I
Yeah.
haven't had any problems
Zero.
with the booster thing either. So, I
Well,
don't
for
know why you
Christmas,
didn't.
I'm getting you the
No,
booster
no,
plus.
I haven't had any problems, and I just don't understand why you didn't try and talk me into it earlier.
Because I'm an asshole. You know. I'm like, hey, listen, you should get the booster. Fuck Optimum. All right. All right.
Yes.
You,
So I
you
think
gotta,
the audio is better also, by the way.
yeah, and you got to
Yeah.
get to it on your terms. You know what I mean?
But the first real test, because next week we're going to have a guest in here, and the real test is how it's going to look / feel. Um, before this podcast started, I was testing out this playing a song off the internet to see if you could hear it. Obviously, not thinking with the headphones on, you wouldn't be able to hear that. So I'm thinking of maybe setting up another computer with the guy that we're having in next week sitting next to me with the Zencaster. He can.
And just
I don't think it'll bleed into one
nah,
another
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
if I
It's
give him a pair of headphones
yeah,
and set him up with a mic directly
yeah,
into his computer. It shouldn't be a problem.
and you have that capability. So
So, but it also might be the worst case scenario because I really don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I beg to differ. I think that we've turned a corner.
We've turned a corner. Yes. Well, we
Yeah.
only have about
6
um,
more.
5 or 6 more. Well, with the last one, we're having a superstar in here.
I
The
know.
last
I know. I'm excited.
world famous
SC.
celebrity in
Yeah.
for the last podcast of the
Yeah.
year, and then we go for still shits and giggles, but for real in
Yeah.
January.
Nice. And take a little vacation.
But
You know.
thank you, friend, for me. We won't mention his name
Yeah.
for that. I don't know what the hell do you call that anyway.
I'm not sure.
But it's like custom made and it fits on your chair and
Yeah. But it's a good way to like I'll find a way to prop it up so like you'll see it in like one of the corners of my
I think you should start every podcast with the thing wrapped around your
uh,
chair.
okay,
Yeah.
and then take it down. Gotcha.
Unless that chair gives us sponsorship. What's the name of that chair? T-Rex or whatever the hell it's called? Space Labs?
Secret Lab Titan.
Yeah.
Titan or some shit.
Yeah. Then we have to throw that guy out
Yeah.
and you'll have to stand up behind the chair.
Yeah.
To show the logo.
Like this.
This is where I'd be sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. I dig the lighting. You got the halo. You got a little cross.
yeah.
It's a very religious.
Right. Halloween, baby.
Yeah.
Halloween.
It is Halloweeny.
Yeah.
Actually, this is coming out the day after Halloween, but that's all right.
That's right. That's actually All Souls Day in the Mexican culture.
It is indeed in Mexican, in Catholic, in Christian culture.
Oh yeah, it's not. I thought it was,
The Mexicans didn't hone in on that.
but they tend to I feel like they celebrate it like very.
We always went to mass on All Souls Day.
Sucks for you.
But I mean, it's a big Catholic thing.
Okay, I don't know. We never celebrated it growing up.
Well, that explains a hell of a lot. I tell you. All right, Shawnee boy. So you have yourself a fine evening.
All right,
you'll listen to them songs I mentioned. The Hurt and Angelsia, if I'm saying that right, by Cat Stevens.
And Tom Waits' Kentucky Ave.
Yeah, and then I'm going to listen to The Scientist by Pearl Jam.
Coldplay.
Yeah, Coldplay.
Okay.
So you wrote it down. I didn't. Huh?
That's why I wrote it down. You're like, you write it down? I'm like, yeah.
All right. I'll write it down.
You think I'm going to remember this an hour later? I'm like, Tom Straits? Tom who?
Coldplay.
Yeah, Scientist.
The Scientist.
Yeah.
And I also want to confirm that Kurt Cobain was left-handed. I'm pretty sure he was.
I didn't realize that, but he might have been.
Yeah.
I
He
had
did.
no
He
idea.
didn't he do an MTV Unplugged once?
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he was holding the guitar.
Yeah.
As a lefty would.
Yeah.
So I'll check on all of that this evening.
All right, T.
All right, Shawnee boy, you have yourself a fine evening, lad.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on the Gritty Hour.
Take care, brother.
All right.